Thank you so much to Liz, to Simon, to Anna, to Nina, and Chris. We're going to hear from Jane Pendlebury with her closing remarks in a moment. As soon as Jane has spoken, but not before, we would ask you to vacate the room, please, so that it can be stripped and relayed for dinner. So don't leave anything in here, don't linger in here. We have drinks from 6 p.m, kindly sponsored by 14IP. Dinner in here at 7 p.m. But now, to close the day, our Chief Executive, Jane Pendlebury.
Great, still people in the room, fantastic. That's why I saved the best till last. Wasn't that a fantastic panel? Thank you very much, guys. So what I always do, it's a bit traditional now, just a quick run through of the day. As Peter said at the beginning of the day, we have fit two conference days into the one. So there's a lot to say, but I'll try and keep it as brief. But thank you, Peter, for keeping us on track throughout the day. It's an incredible job to do that, and you do it so brilliantly. And thank you, Harry, our president. As ever, you're an amazing man, and we really appreciate everything you do, and we're very proud that you're our president, so thank you. We started the day with BDO, and I love working with BDO. We've always worked with BDO. I love the way that they're always so positive about the finances of the hospitality industry. We all know it's a tough industry, but they keep it positive, as do Hotstats. I remember talking to Michael during COVID and saying, look, I just want something that's positive, just something. And he said, yeah, room service sales are going up. I thought, we've got it. So that was great. And he was mentioning, what I found particularly interesting was the increase in costs and the payroll by department. I found that quite shocking. So if anyone didn't see that, they might want to flick back on the slides later. And thank you, Peter, from Venue for Performance as well, for adding your bit on that growing part of our industry that is meetings and events. So hopefully you're all measuring and benchmarking and gaining benefit from all of those bits of information this morning. And then on our second year with the lovely Thomas, our economist, who I like his positive outlook as well, although he didn't refer to the misery index as the happiness index this year. But it was still great, and he had a positive outlook for 2025. Lots of cautionary words as well, but interest rates look like they might be in our favour. Declining slowly, but still declining for those of us with debt, that's good. And interestingly, households are saving more each month. I didn't realise that. It was an average of 5.5% of earnings pre-pandemic, and now it's up to 9%. So I guess that will level out, and maybe they'll spend that extra bit of money that they're not saving back in hospitality. Let's hope so. And Chris was referring to Kate Nichols and her work with UK hospitality, and I think we all owe such a debt of gratitude to her. She campaigns tirelessly on our behalf, and it was a great interview with James from the caterer. She never ceases to amaze me with her stats, her facts, her figures, and she just knows them all and churns them out and does so with such passion. I think we're very lucky to have her in the industry. And she keeps us positive as well. I learned during COVID that whenever I saw Kate on the telly, she was being purposefully quite negative about the industry because she was really gunning for the support that we needed. So I was able to flip that and think, right, she's got to paint that negative picture. So I took it upon myself to paint the positive picture. And I think that has really carried us through quite a long way with HOSPA. And we do try and keep that positive attitude, whatever the situation. I think COVID, we did that in spades. So I'm very grateful for the team and everyone that helped us do that. I didn't get to see all of the workshops, so I'm not going to mention a single one of them because I'll get in trouble from those that I missed. But they all were recorded. They will all be on the website, not immediately, but once they've been edited by our wonderful team at PIC. That will take, sorry, Tom, I know, you're going to be doing that through the night, aren't you, for weeks. But they will be on the website, so please do take a look at those when you get the chance. Lunch, lovely lunch, sponsored by 14IP. And then we had the diversity panel led by Lorraine Copes. Meaningful decisions disrupt. That's what I took away from that, and I think it was very interesting. And what I thought was interesting as well, that the race issue is probably bigger than any of the other issues on LGBTQ and all those other bits and pieces. That is still the unconscious bias that we're all really suffering from as an industry and as a nation as well. So. But happiness is the workplace. Happiness in the workplace is all about having the perfect location. That was what I took away from that one. Then grateful to Ryan Hayes for talking about maximising profit potential. And that, again, seemed to come down to loyalty. We mention that every single year. Experience, understanding your market and targeting that correctly. You couldn't find more diverse people on his panel, from Sycas Hospitality and all their corporate hotels at a nice high level and everything being perfect, just the exact hotel you might stay in when you're going to a business meeting. And then Mike from the House of Gods, who he said, I don't think we've ever had anyone staying in our hotel who's got a meeting at 9:30 the next morning. But nice, diverse people there talking along the same lines about maximising profit. I knew Neil Stone was going to be an interesting one. He was the designer of the BA flatbeds, and I think his story of asking us all to draw a bridge and then making us realise that, yes, a bridge was going to solve the problem, but actually we drew a bridge because he asked us to draw a bridge. But what we hadn't asked, we hadn't got the opportunity to ask, but it made us all realise that you've got to find out why he wanted a bridge in the first place. Could it have been something that could have been thrown across the river, maybe if you were crossing it, or sending a message? Getting to the root of the problem rather than just trying to find a solution was his point. So explore the problems before jumping to solutions. After the break, we talked about cyber, which is all very scary stuff, and I think we just learned we need to know our risk when it comes to cyber. And then the technology decisions one. Thank you to Andy for running that one. Excellent moderating. And great advice mixed with great stories as well. And I love how the tech vendors in our industry can sit on a panel and just talk like guests, because they are. They're obviously travelling around as much as anybody else. And I used to worry about putting vendors on the stage because I think, oh, they're just going to try and peddle their wares. But they're not. They're just wanting to prove that they understand the industry. And I think they did that successfully today. And then that leaders panel, thank you, Liz, for helping me pull that together. Thank you, Simon, for reminding me it's 37 years ago that we worked together. Goodness me, that really is a long time, isn't it? But I thought that was brilliant. And we do always try to end on a session that's kind of uplifting and heartwarming. And I think they couldn't have done a better job. So I'm very grateful to all of those leaders who sat there today and entertained us. So that was the day. You can watch it all back later this month if you want to, or if you missed any, or if you've got any colleagues that weren't able to come, please do share the word. It'll all be available on the website shortly. But a big thank you to you all for coming. That's the first thing I always say every year. And a big thank you to the sponsors and exhibitors, without whom we wouldn't be able to get you all here today and produce such lovely food and drinks and entertainment for you. We are going to go pretty much straight into drinks, which are sponsored by 14IP. They are 14 years old today, perfect for a company called 14IP. So they are celebrating by sponsoring some of the drinks tonight, and it's going to be a red. Their logo is very red. You've probably seen it around this place tonight, and it's going to be a cosmopolitan cocktail, I believe. So you've got the choice of that or some night timber. So we're going to be spoilt for choice during the drinks reception shortly. I know some of you aren't staying. You're very welcome to stay for the drinks. If you're not staying for dinner, then thank you for coming and goodbye. Wish you were staying. Those of you that are staying, please do check the table plan. It's on a scrolling, it's probably on more screens now, but it was, last time I looked, on a scrolling board opposite the cloakroom. So please check the table plan. There have been some tweaks today, so if you checked your table number at the beginning of the day, it might have changed. If you were expecting to be on that list and you're not, please do shout, because there are some spare places. We've had some changes today, so please do that. Lots of upcoming events on the website, so keep your eye on that. And also on the website, and there's a link in the conference brochure to our feedback. And we do really, really value the feedback. It's very important for us to know what you liked, what you didn't like so much, and what you'd like to see next year. The only reason we can keep on top of everything is we know what you want, we understand what you want to hear. So please do fill in that feedback. It's a very, very interesting read for us, and it also will shape HOSPACE 2025. One final thing I've got to say is keep your badges with you if you are staying for drinks and for dinner, because there is going to be security checking, so please don't dump your badges. You can't do that just yet. But now it's time to go for a drink. So thank you all very much.